The Charlotte Hornets are starting to look genuinely scary, and that's great news for the Eastern Conference. With LaMelo, Moussa, Khan, and Brandon playing high level, this is a team that's building a real playoff resume. Coming into this one, the Hornets had the momentum, and if you were tracking the Elo Ratings Distribution, you could see it. Charlotte controlled the game from start to finish. The Spurs were particularly hurt on the glass. That late Moussa putback in the fourth was evidence that amplified the damage on the offensive rebound front. On the bright side for San Antonio, Harper put on a show, shooting 69% from the field and scoring 20 points off the bench in just 23 minutes. Harper didn't just contribute, he sent a message. He showed flashes of defensive impact too, recording both a steal and a block. Barnes also got his stroke back from 3, and Devin carried a positive plus-minus, which is encouraging given the overall result. Now, the narrative around the draft has been loud lately. A lot of people are saying the Spurs should have taken Khan instead of Dillon, and on the surface, the fit argument makes sense. Khan isn't a guard, and San Antonio already has plenty of playmakers at that position. But here's the thing, the Spurs drafted Dillon for his upside, for what he could become, not just what he is right now. And tonight, he showed exactly why. At 23 minutes a night, he's already producing at an elite efficiency level, and he's doing it on both ends of the floor. I don't think San Antonio made a mistake. Tonight was proof. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we got the Orlando Magic coming up, and look on the surface, this matchup seems pretty straightforward, right? Both teams love to get out in transition. Both teams run a ton of pick and roll. It almost feels like looking in a mirror. And when you have two teams that play similar styles, that's when you gotta dig deeper. That's when you gotta look past the obvious and find those faint signals. Those little cracks might not show up on the basic stat sheet. So what I did was I pulled all the data, every stat, every game from this season. I'm talking basic stats, advanced metrics, shooting splits, the whole 9 yards. And I ran correlations to see what actually correlates when the Magic lose games. Now, emphasis on correlation, this doesn't mean it predicts the losses, but these stats are correlated with when they lose. There's a pattern here. The Magic are sitting at 25-22 right now, just over 500, pretty average team. When I ran the numbers, here's what jumped out. Points scored has a negative 0.577 correlation with losses. That's the strongest signal in the entire data set. What does that mean? Simple, when the Magic can't score, they lose. In wins, they're averaging 122 points. In losses, 108. That's a 14-point drop. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just that they can't score, it's how they can't score. Field goal percentage drops from 48.7% in wins to 44% in losses. But check this out, their three-point percentage absolutely craters. From 36.8% in wins down to 30.6% in losses. That's a 6 percentage point swing. And when you look at the correlations, three-point makes has a minus 0.280 correlation with losses. They're making 2 fewer threes per game when they lose, and it gets worse. Assists drop from 28.2 in wins to 24.2 in losses. That's 4 fewer assists. Now here's the danger zones, and this is critical. When the Magic shoot below 43% from the field, their win rate is 23%. When they score under 110 points, their win rate drops to 20%. And when they get fewer than 23 assists, they're winning just 16.7% of the time. So what does this tell us about the matchup? The Magic live and die by their offense. When the ball is moving, when they're knocking down threes, when they're scoring in transition and getting easy buckets in the pick and roll, they win. But when you disrupt their offense, when you make them play in the half court, when you contest those threes and force them into tough shots, the 25-22 record starts to make a lot more sense. And here's the kicker, personal fouls actually correlate positively with their losses. When they're fouling more, 22 fouls in losses versus 20 in wins, they're losing. Why? Because it disrupts their transition game. It slows the pace. It puts them in the half court. So for the Spurs, they need to contest the three-point line. I'm talking chase them off the line, make them uncomfortable. The Magic shoot 36.8% from 3 in wins, but only 30.6% in losses. That 6-point swing, that's the difference between them dropping 122 on you versus 108. Get a hand up, make every 3 contested, then slow the pace down. I know we love to run too. But look at the data. When the Magic are in rhythm, when the ball is moving, when they're getting 28 assists and pushing in transition, they're winning. Control the tempo. then force them into tough shots. Their field goal percentage drops to 44% in losses. How do you do that? Make them work. Don't give up easy pick and roll dunks. Hedge the pick and roll. Make them pass. If you can keep them under 110 points, their win rate drops to 20%. And finally, and this is huge, coming off a back-to-back, take care of the ball. We cannot afford to turn it over and let them get out in transition when our legs are tired. When the Magic get steals, they win. Don't feed their transition game, because the Magic, they're not built to win ugly. Check out the quality of their wins. Most of it is lopsided, and only 3 wins coming from an ugly win. That is another thing. If the Spurs can make it close, they have a chance. But what do you guys think? Drop your comments below. And until then, stay curious.